Yeah, I echo that completely. In my career, I've been fortunate in that I've been able to work closely with researchers for the most part as I've been in this content design, content strategy slash UX writing universe. However, there have definitely been projects and moments and like moments in time where I've had to get really creative and crafty in how I'm learning about what our users feel and what they think and the sentiment that they're experiencing as they're going through an experience or interacting with a product. And I found that, Leslie, I want to get your name correct, Leslie Johnson, I think that quote is so on point that she put in the chat, simply because that is the case that you have to make. If, yeah, I can do this without the research, but it's not going to be good. It's not going to be nearly as good as it can be because research amplifies everything we do. We are acting in the best interest of the user, but how can we actually say that we're doing that well if we're not talking to the user? I can't, in the day-to-day course of business, how many of us are actually spending in like enormous amount of time talking with the user? That's why user research is so important, because you can kind of carve out that time where you're just interacting with people, real people who are not as, I guess, as close to your product as you are, who are not desensitized or jaded, who haven't kind of, their experience hasn't been clouded by all the technical jargon, all the business goals. Like it's a beautiful experience when you get a chance to talk to these people, because they, again, are real people. And sometimes, and I want to be careful in how I say, like, we are real people as well, but we're so close to it. We're the people who make the stuff. And sometimes we get so caught up in the making of it that we forget how to be human. And so users help us help remind me how to be human. Like, I'm creating for real people. So I think if you can make the case for it, and if you can, back it up with some data, some numbers, and some expertise, I think all the better for the product and for your work.
I'll chime in and add to that. You just sparked a thought with that, Jonathan. And if you don't have access to users, real people, if you have a part of the experience that is client facing in any way, like representatives, a call center that you have as a part of your company, talking to those reps is extremely important. So the products that I work on at Red Ventures, we have call centers for those. And so if we can't get a hold of the user, can we find out the person who's actually the human contact? If a lead form is submitted, who are they talking to? What are you saying? What are users asking you? What are the questions that they have as soon as they hit the phone? What are the sticky points for them about the product, or the experience? And so even then, if you're not able to talk directly to users, starting with anyone who has access to them, if you can start there, that'll also give you valuable data that can help, shape that language that you're using when you're actually writing for the users in these products and experiences.
And if I can piggyback off your piggyback, so when I worked at Lending Tree as a content strategist, there were these moments where you could actually hook up with people on the support team or in what we call the contact center and listen to these calls. And it would just shake you out of the rigmaroles of your day-to-day work, because it reminds you who you're actually creating for. Shopify has something very similar where you can kind of step in as a support person for a day during your onboarding. And not only does it help you build empathy for the actual end user, but it also helps you develop empathy for the support team, because their jobs are incredibly hard and difficult. And support people need to get paid a whole lot more at companies. Absolutely. So love your support team. They are advocates for you. They are champions for your work, because they are interacting with everyday people. They are hearing the pain points. They are on the front lines of the frustrations. They are really a really great pipeline for you to understand what's happening. What are real people experiencing? What's not working well for them? What's going great? What do they actually love, or what do they just misunderstand? So if you can listen to those recordings, get those playbacks, shadow a contact center, call center, or support person for a day or for a couple of days, it will definitely be intensive. It will be physically draining and exhausting, because it's a very hard job to do, but it's so rewarding. So it's worth it.